Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Darth here. Let's get this topic on the road. So the topic for today is going to be, what bike did you start riding with? Like, what was your first motorbike? Now, for myself, I was riding dirt bikes for many, many years before I started riding on the street. And it actually took me a long time before I started riding on the street because sheer finances and all that, nerves, a bunch of different things, and that's why I didn't ride on the street. But when I eventually did start riding on the street, the bike that I wanted like a cruiser style bike, because I wasn't into the sport bike look and all that kind of stuff, as you can kind of tell by the creamsicles handlebars here. But anyways, I started off with a 2002 Honda Shadow American Classic Edition. Nice bike. It was only a 750, but that's what I wanted, contrary to what everybody else said. Put a picture of it right here. And so that was the first street bike that I had. And everybody was bugging me about the fact that it was a 750. They're like, oh, no, you want to go with something bigger, something that's got some more power behind it. For someone of your size, you're going to be unhappy. And I'm like, well, it's my first street bike. A motorbike will get me into enough trouble on its own. For my first bike, I don't need to really worry about the size of the motor. Not yet. So, I had that bike for 2 years. A great little starter bike. Nothing spectacular, but it was a nice bike. And towards the end of the second year mark, my wife, of all people, she was saying that, you know what, you got to get rid of that bike. It's too small underneath you. You look kind of funny. So I'm like, oh, okay. Well, if she's more or less giving me the green light to get a different bike, then who am I to argue? I'll get myself a new bike. So I sold that bike off, and I decided, okay, eventually I'm going to want to buy a really nice high dollar bike. What it is, I don't know, but that's going to be the game plan eventually. But I didn't want to be a person that just pigeonholed myself into... Oh, hang on. Okay. So... that was weird. Got a phone call on the trailer that I'm trying to sell. Anyways, getting back to the topic. My wife said I have to go get rid of the bike. I started shopping around for a crotch rocket because I wanted to explore the crotch rocket side of motorbiking. I didn't want to just have a cruiser and that was it. I know a lot of people out there you're either on one side of the coin or the other. You're either a cruiser person or you're a sport bike person, and that's just the way it is. You don't mix the two. And I'm like, I don't want that, because looking around, each bike has its pros and cons. I love the look of a sport bike. They're just like an aggressive look, very sporty, very flashy. They just look good, even just parked. They're just stunning. So anyways, when I sold off my Shadow, and I got the money, and then I started looking for my sport bike. I always had the bike in mind that I wanted, because I always found them a very sexy bike. It was a Suzuki GSXR. So eventually I found one for sale that was in my price range. So I was able to pick up a 2003, I think it was. Maybe it was a 2004. I can't really remember. GSXR 750. Just like the Shadow, it was the 750, because I figured, well, they're both the 750s. Power should be about the same. Control-wise, wow, was I ever wrong. Those bikes are completely different beasts. If you've never been on the opposing side bike, like if you're from a cruiser and you've never been on a crotch rocket, you can't appreciate the amount of power on demand those things have. And vice versa. If you're only on a crotch rocket, you can't appreciate the comfort level and the ease of riding that the cruisers have. Now again, that being said, when I was on that GSXR, that thing had so much power on demand. It kind of scared me a couple times because I wasn't quite used to it. It was, you just twist the throttle and that front tire was starting to want to get up and go. So yeah, those are the two bikes that I had in the first 4 years of me riding. But then I had a little baby boy, so my riding got put on hold. I didn't have as much free time anymore. And after a year of the bike just sitting there, I decided, you know what, it's not looking good. I'm going to get rid of the bike. I'm going to sell it, put the money towards something else. So I did. I sold the Gixxer off and bought a quad. And my wife and I and our kids, we started getting into quadding and the side-by-sides and all that good jazz. And we did that for a couple of years because, again, I came from a dirt bike background, so I was used to all that kind of stuff. But then again, after a couple of years, our schedules weren't jiving anymore. I wasn't getting out camping as much, and I was missing my bike. So I told my wife, I said, you know what, I really miss my bike. I want to get rid of the side-by-side, and I want to get my bike back. And she wasn't too keen on the idea at first, but she understood because she was feeling the same way, that how we're just not utilizing them anymore. So I figured, okay, well, now it's time for me to buy another bike. Again, I couldn't buy that big bike that I wanted, the big high dollar one, because, well, my finances weren't where I wanted them to be. So I started looking around used again. And again, after being on the crotch rock and being on the cruiser, I wanted to go back to the cruiser style. Not taking anything away from the sport bikes, it's just I felt more comfortable on the cruisers, so that's what I wanted to go back to. Now, I love the fact that I tried the sport bikes, and I probably would go back to one, but I'm not going to get rid of my cruiser now. I'm not going to make that one or the other. It's going to be, no, I'll buy both. And that's just the way it is. I'll have one of each. So when I was looking around, I didn't want to go for a Harley because I didn't want to be that person that bought a Harley and spent way too much money on the bike and then have to go and buy all the clothes and everything, because I think it's written in some of the fine print somewhere on one of the Harley pages when you buy a bike that you must wear only Harley clothes. I know it's not Harley, guys. I know. I'm just kind of teasing because that seems to be the trend. So anyways, I was looking at the Victories because I took a couple out for a demo rides, and man, they rode so nice. Cheaper than Harleys, just as nice, just as much power, but they were not a Harley. So I was looking around. I finally found one that I liked. It was in my price range. Took it for a ride. Everything was just ducky, except for I didn't like the handlebars on it. And because I'm very tall, I didn't like the way my feet sat, so I had to make some changes to everything. Oh, and there's another phone call. Hang on. Okay, so that was the same lady talking about my trailer, so looks like I'm gonna have to go and show the trailer again today. Anyways, getting back to the whole vlog, this is a very convoluted vlog, it's gonna bounce me all over. I don't remember if I posted a picture of the Gixxer, but if I didn't, there it is. But yeah, anyways, getting back to the Victory, I found one that I liked. I had to modify it a little bit, but this is the one that I'm on right now. It's a 2004 Victory Vegas. I love this bike. It's everything that I want right now. I've done my changes to it. It's got a HID headlight conversion kit. It's obviously got the big ape hanger headlights or handlebars. I actually had the floorboards stretched out 2 inches to accommodate my long legs. Put on the new mirrors. I've got wraparound LED headlights, which I'll put all that in like a little a bike video at some point in time. But yeah, that's the bike that I'm on right now. How about you guys? What kind of bikes do you ride? Are you on the sport bike side? Are you on the cruiser side? What side of the coin are you guys on? Yeah, I guess let me know either with a comment or picture or something like that. But you can do all that fine, good stuff down below. And I guess until the next one, It's Darth Ram, signing out.